tutasonga na people power, kukomboa Uganda na wananchi wote. NUP ndio kiongozi wetu, tutakomboa Uganda na wananchi yote. Popote tutafika na wananchi yote, Mbarara tutafika na wananchi yote, Masaka tutafika na wananchi yote, Busoga tutafika na wananchi yote. Tutasonga na people power, kukomboa Uganda na wananchi wote. Bobi Wine ndio kiongozi wetu, tutakomboa Uganda na wananchi wote. Yes, a good afternoon to you, dear brothers and sisters on the African continent. I hope all is well with you. By the grace of our Heavenly Father, being the master architect of all living and non-living things, we give thanks and praise for His loving kindness, having allowed us to to behold the light from the sun and continue to strategize such that we can lay strategies that can bring about our desired things on our side. So, brothers and sisters, God Almighty is so loving all the time. All the time, He is always there. He is full aware of whatever that we are encountering, be it of happiness or be it of a tribulation, brothers and sisters. Frown not, because He Himself, He is full aware, and His provisions are always there to extricate us from any given predicament, even this one of Mr. Museveni. Thus, as we reflect to the words which he spoke on that blessed day, a day that symbolized the blessedness, the presence, and the acceptance of God into the ideology led by Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. As it continued to pour down, brothers and sisters, he indicated that Uganda is rich in human and mineral resources, yet millions of its citizens continues to live under total poverty, not because that they lack the capacity to transform their lives, but because they lacked accountable leadership for too long a time. Brothers and sisters, you will agree with me, fellow Ugandans, in anti-Museveni combatism, that those words carries the value and it embodies the entire aspiration as it was outlined in the manifesto presented before us by our desired political organization, none other, National Unity Platform. So, brothers and sisters, based on that circumstantial evidence that Museveni must go, brothers and sisters, let us continue amplifying the same to bring about into realization that which we would for via a ballot box on the 15th. That day, the 24th of September, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu reminded us that many of you contemplate to let go of the struggle which we entered on our own free will and accord, given the fact that our great-grandchildren must not bear this burden on their shoulders. Brothers and sisters, do not ever consider to let go of the struggle, because giving up is worse than this we are enduring right now. Let us continue amplifying the voices that each one of Museveni's members must be sanctioned by the international community, because it is the only way, this is the only court that can render justice in our favor so far. As long as Museveni, he is still in the political institutions of the Republic of Uganda. So, brothers and sisters, fellow Ugandans, do not turn a blind eye. It is a collective responsibility. Brothers and sisters, we continue to demand the unconditional release of all political prisoners, people who are languishing in jail on trumped-up charges. Trumped-up charges fabricated by the state, charges which cannot be even heard in the courts of law because they are so pervasive in their nature. They fabricated them. They cannot stand trial. because they know the judges will render justice in the favor of the people persecuted by Mr. Museveni's failed regime. Brothers and sisters, do not conceive in your mind that we have a functional government. No, that is a militia that captured our political institution. Thus, we must treat them as such, not as a government. Do not be like that you should address as if you are addressing a functional and a government which entered into leadership as a result of the consensus. No, these are the people who, on the second consecutive occasion, declared themselves forcefully as the leader into the country, Uganda. Brothers and sisters, we demand that all political prisoners must be released. And we have to bear in mind that whatever statistics brought before us from the Uganda Museveni-controlled police force and the Uganda National Bureau of Statistics controlled by Kabano Incorporated, a private organization which is attached to NRA or NRM. These are the people that controls the Uganda Media Center, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, the Uganda Internal Affairs, the Uganda Judiciary, and the Uganda Legislature, which is the parliament. They are all controlled by the greed of the Kabano Incorporated, led by a now ailing in ICU Mr. Museveni and his already demised wife, Janet Kataka Museveni, notoriously known as Mama Assassin, for having claimed innumerable lives of innocent people. Her herself ordered that Justice Judge Joan Kagazi must be killed because she was having an affair with Mr. Museveni. Janet Museveni, you have seen that the soul or the mind bear witness to the soul, and the soul bear witness to the heart. Whatever decision your heart made, the soul is incurring the rewards that thereof, right? Janet Museveni, I know you hear my words, even though your flesh has started to decay already. That goes on to show you that never persecute people to accumulate worldly possession, because you will never take even a thing when God recall your soul to account and your flesh starts to perish and you watch it. Janet Museveni, and you, Mr. Kaguta Museveni, Mr. Kaguta Yoweri, Nyande tubuhabulwa, lutabayisirwa. ASP Asime informed us that your belly is swelling, is highly inflated. Mr. Museveni, leave alone the boil that is tormenting you in the armpit. Mr. Museveni, leave alone the balls, your balls that are gushing out pus. Mr. Museveni, God has proven to you that I can turn you a reproach, even before the eyes of those people whom you are killed to make their lives easier, whom you have killed to make or to attain the utopia for them. They are all now being disgusted by your presence in their midst, because you are rotting while still breathing. Have you seen the mightiness of God Almighty? Have you seen that science have got limitations, vital as it is in every civilized society? But there are the limitations where its expertise must stop. And then the spirit continues its journey. Oh, Mr. Museveni, Mr. Salim Saleh, it should be born in your minds that Ugandans are to free themselves, or at least we must die trying. After all, there is nothing expected to be meted up on us that you have not done yet. You have nothing new in store that could intimidate us to incur. Mr. Salim Saleh, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, you are in control, and you have decreed that the abduction must commence afresh. and that you must kill as you please. ASP Asime indicated that you embarked on and pumped money into a scheme of recruiting new militants. ASP Asime indicated that you are trying to drag these young people stricken by your controlled poverty in the society, that they must go and serve the state, trying to sound as if you're promoting patriotism. As if you are promoting patriotism. But the sinister behind this, or the entire agenda behind this, it is to collect the youthful age, people who are agitating for just leadership, into a confinement, and then you decide whether to poison them or to indoctrinate them. That is what ASP Asime indicated. And this, it is meant to kill these people if they refuse to budge on your indoctrination. That you are planning a coup d'etat, Mr. Salim Saleh and Moise Kainerugaba, and you sort of members who are loyal to your rotten murderous regime. Thus, you are collecting these young people who are somehow gullible, those whose minds are resistant to the light led by Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, are the people who fall into your trap. Those who do not listen to Teacher Kajubi and ASP Asime respectively, in regards to the security alert, those are the people who fall into Salim Saleh and Moise Kainerugaba continued traps. To trap the youth. To trap the youth. Brothers and sisters, we must not choose anything similar to silence. We must not choose anything similar to fear. But rather, we must choose that come what may, but Museveni must go. That notion must sink in your conscious minds, because it is well justifiable. Till I said you, a philosopher said that to live is to suffer, and to survive is to find a meaning in the suffer. Correct me if I'm wrong. If Museveni's, or if our effort to remove Museveni, it is not a meaningful sufferation that is worth it to endure. Brothers and sisters, let us endure this pain. Let us endure the sufferation for the betterment of our great-grandchildren. Museveni have tormented our generation, but we are not going to allow him to continue that legacy of selfishness. That legacy of selfishness. Brothers and sisters, I stated that we must not trust any statistics from any of Museveni's controlled department in Uganda, particularly the statistics brought before the general public by the Uganda police force. This is a force, not a service, right? So their forcefulness, it is to infringe on the livelihood of the people of the Republic of Uganda. Those are the taxpayer, right? Whatever statistic they come up before the general public, you must understand that it has got a goal, a hidden agenda in the favor of the Kabano Incorporated or Mr. Museveni's murderous regime. There is no love for the police to inform Ugandans whether the criminality tendencies are on a rise or in a decrease, right? They don't have that love. If they did have love for the citizens of Uganda, we would have known how many people, the cases of the missing persons who have been reported thus far ever since Kyagulanyi Ssentamu embarked on a task to remove Dictator Museveni. We have not seen any statistic indicating the missing persons in Uganda. What we see, it is the compilation of National Unity Platform, a political organization highly embraced and trusted by the general public, not from the police force. Brothers and sisters, allow me to share with you a little bit of the statistics brought before us by Uganda Police Force, or Museveni's controlled police force. Brothers and sisters, allow me to quote some of the things they said. Uganda Police Force, according to the according to the 2025 annual crime report, a total of 191 children were defiled by suspects known to be HIV positive. 94 children were defiled by teachers, and 95 were defiled by their guardians. Of all defilement trend, a total of 10,492 defilement cases were reported to police in 2025, compared to 12,312 cases in 2024, reflecting a 14.8% decrease of the cases reported in 2025. 7,019 were classified as simple defilement, while 3,674 cases were aggravated. Out of the total reported cases, 4,806 cases were taken to court. 713 resulted in conviction. 27 resulted in acquittals. 355 were dismissed. 3,079 remain pending in court, while 1,932 cases were not proceeded with, while 3,674 cases still under inquiry. A total of 4,999 suspects were arrested and charged to court. 740 were convicted, 27 acquitted, 332 were discharged, 3,900 are current under trial. Now, those are the statistics only in the rape and defilement cases. Now, this is meant, brothers and sisters, these are defilement cases, right? We have seen that 100 cases were reported. We have seen that a total of 10,494 defilement cases were reported in 2025, right? So, brothers and sisters, this is the field which is being utilized by the state. When we speak of the state, I want you to picture the Kabano Incorporated. When we speak of the state, do not hear that word state, but rather conceive an organization insidious named as Kabano Incorporated. When I speak the word state, I want that picture to come into your mind, not as a state in the known realm, no. So, brothers and sisters, we have seen so far that when Museveni is interested either in grabbing someone's land or in stifling business entrepreneur and industrialist out of business, they use mostly defilement cases, right? And in many cases, these are trumped-up charges drafted by the state to persecute a person whom they deem a threat to their status quo. You can see that the reported 10,000 or 11,000 of defilement cases, you can see that the convicted people are the least. But those who are still under inquiries and those whose charges are on pending, they are the majority. Meaning that these ones inside there, they are being persecuted by the state in wanting their properties or to persecute them out of business. Now, you can see that the police force, not a service, serves the interests of Mr. Museveni. Brothers and sisters, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, while addressing some elders on a global basis, indicated that in Uganda currently, It would have been provider of security and safety of the citizens. It is the root cause of insurgence and insecurity in our communities, respectively, or society, respectively, right? So, brothers and sisters, these children, this defilement case, they are planning to do something either with our prominent leaders. So for them to bring these statistics, they are preparing the minds of the people, either wanting to character assassinate a man who is trustable or a woman trusted by the general public, or to steal somebody's belongings. This is where you see the defilement that is gone high, right? So brothers and sisters, prior to these statistics, I will refer you to the security alert again by ASP Asime Baiban Politics in relation to the private members bill which sought to enhance a clause in the computer misuse bill, or in the computer use bill. You will forgive me if I rephrased it wrong, but in that thing which was brought by Mr. Muhammad Nseleko on behalf of Museveni's family. So, getting back to the defilement and the statistics brought to us by the Uganda Police Force, the private member bill, it was meant to suffocate and intimidate psychologically the parents whose children were molested by high-ranking officials in Museveni's government, particularly Museveni himself and his son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba. In that case, it will lead you to the causation of Olanya's demise and Father Lukodo, respectively. Now that they have somehow managed to intimidate the society, and that they have mobilized young men and women to start vulgarizing leaders in their favor, NRA or Kabano's favor, they decided to lift the computer misuse bill or to repeal it, right? That it is not, it is not substantiated, yet it was passed into law in those times, and Olanya and Father Lukodo passed away as a result of that which was about to be revealed to the general public in relation to Museveni's molestation of the infants or minors in school. Remember, they are being reared, these minors, from 7 to sleep with, thinking that he must prolong his murderous regime. He was told by witch doctors, obviously, Now, Muhammad Nseleko came, serving the interests of Museveni and defending Muhoozi Kainerugaba and Museveni through the means of law. You can see that institutes which are meant to harmonize society are being exploited or used by Museveni to persecute the society, to persecute political opponents. Yet Mr. Museveni indicated that the NRA never believed in persecuting political opponents. And he further indicated, Museveni himself, is that the more you persecute these people, you create a permanent enmity with the people who support them, right? Now, you can see that the permanent enmity Museveni you have created between us and our persecuted leaders who are now languishing in jail, particularly Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, a young man who never wronged anybody, a young man who has no criminal record, particularly the deputy president of Buganda region, Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi. Allow me to convey my sense of gratitudeness towards your resilience, having been coerced by Museveni's agent, particularly Medadi Lubega Sagona, Matthias Mpuuga, Samujunganda, They try you to accept Museveni's script such that you can drag Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and his entire led administration into the terrorism plot by Museveni. But you have rejected. Credible information indicates ASP Asimani Kajubirumbuye. They indicated that you refused and you decided if to die and if God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, through his holy servant, Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you decided if he decided to take your life by means of Museveni, let it be so. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi, for putting into consideration the foundation you yourself have been a part in its establishment. The aspiration that is embodied in National Unity Platform, the futuristic understanding of the people of the Republic of Uganda. Mwanga Kivumbi, thank you so very much, dear leadership. Brothers and sisters, going back to Mr. Museveni and his stooges, sycophants, and minions within our society. Brothers and sisters, you have seen that the statistics presented to the general public by Uganda Police and the statistic, a backlog of cases within the Directorate of Public Prosecution, if you start manipulating those numbers into a well-permeated way, you will find that many of these people whose charges are on pending, you will find that their land have been either grabbed by the state or confiscated over those very charges. Brothers and sisters, you can count many tycoons whose lives demised mysteriously because Museveni and Kabano Incorporated wanted their land. You can count them in numbers, brothers and sisters. So we must not accept or believe in the statistics brought to us by Uganda Police. Brothers and sisters, the statistics of the backlog cases in the judicial system need to be addressed. And this concoction by Uganda Police Force, it wants to justify Mr. Museveni's proposal through Inter-Religious Council that some of these cases, civil cases, must be relegated or must be transferred to particularly the so-called Sharia law and Kotizach Sekwa. How sure are we that these judges in these courts are competent? And why is it this is being proposed by a state which is responsible for this backlog? Why is it proposed by the same state? These are all diversionary that are driving us, Museveni, to swear himself in, if he will at all. Mr. Museveni, we know God cannot allow you. God cannot allow you to sit in that seat again. He allowed you to be there for 5 years while exposing your nakedness and filthiness, right? It has elapsed. Now it is time to show the world that I've exposed a man you erroneously conceived or perceived as a leader, but it was not. He is not. This is a perverted creature which has been detrimental all along. From the inception, this has been a reproach before the people of the Republic of Uganda. And he started it himself candidly, Mr. Museveni. And I'm justified to recite it, that Museveni has been a curse in our midst ever since. It is not a lie. It is not a lie. And I can assert that Museveni stated it while in Yumbe, that I will be a curse before you. I am a curse before you. Tell me, my brother, if Museveni lied, that he has not been a curse ever since for the past 65 years into the political realm of Uganda. Tell me, if Museveni has not been a real curse ever since he captured the power of Uganda. Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, speaking of misinformation, as I was preparing to come before you, global citizens, fellow Africans, and fellow Ugandans in anti-Musevenism, I passed by Uganda Media Center, and there I found that the director, Mr. Alan Kasujja, had hosted a delegation from the U.S. Embassy led by a personnel of public affairs, right? On grounds that they were strengthening mutual interest and strengthening ties in any given aspect, right? So, as I was still listening, as I was reading that thing they wrote there, something prompted me. I mean, that statement prompted my mind, and the security alert brought to us by ASP Asime in respect to the disappearance of young men and women who served in the American forces when the U.S. outsourced machineries from Museveni, right? ASP Asime indicated that Mr. Museveni, being fearful, and Salimu Saleh plus Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Mugisha Muntu, and the 27 men of NRA, they said that these people are well versed in military skills. They worked with the Americans. They have weapon experience, and we don't know their whereabouts, right? So in order to get to them, we must come up with a ploy that what is it called? What is it called? It's not a salary. What is it called? That the U.S. Embassy is now giving them some kind of gratuity in that sense, but there is a specific term which is used. So, to appreciate the services. And those who contracted, chronic diseases while serving in the U.S., that amount of money is meant to facilitate them. And it has been coming, but the state has been eating it as it did to the marathoners and the, athleticians, you understand? So, Mr. Museveni mobilized his people to call upon these people, all of them. So the reason why I tagged the U.S. Embassy in Uganda and the U.S. government in this broadcast, it is perhaps to search for clarity whether the U.S. is running a program to call all veterans of their machineries. In the case of Uganda, men and women who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, respectively, must be the U.S. We want the U.S. Embassy in Uganda to come and clarify this. What is going on? If the families now are coming out claiming that most of their children who told them that the government called them to receive this gratuity never resurfaced again. They continue to disappear. Young men and women are asking, where are our brothers? Where does the state take these people? Where does the state take these people? Mr. Museveni, you are saying that the government of America is calling, no, not Mr. Museveni, Mr. Salimu Saleh and Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Museveni is now a dead man. And Janet Kaguta Museveni, they are all dead. Right? Now, Salimu Saleh, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Mugisha Muntu, Besigye, and other 27 men, Kaindo Tafire, these are the people who are now laying all strategies diabolical to cling on to power. Now, we want the U.S. Embassy in Uganda to come and tell us, does your government still run this program? Does your government mobilize the people who served them in Iraq and Afghanistan to come for their gratuity? If the peasants, if the parents in Uganda are looking for their children, you see that these police force statistics does not include missing people in Uganda. Whereas information on the ground indicates that in their tens of thousands, Ugandans are missing. Their whereabouts are not known. Leave alone the 20. Leave alone the 20. The 18 of National Unity Platform, Sam Mugumya of FDC, and Chief Justice Benedicto Kiwanuka, who was abducted in 1972. In 1972. So we want the U.S. Embassy to tell us, because the parents are looking for their children, nowhere to be found. Museveni tracked them that he's giving them money. Speaking of the U.S. father, it is you still who contracts Museveni to take the military in Somalia in the so-called AMISOM, right? We received the information that the U.S. told them to withdraw, but they never withdrew. They never withdraw, right? So now information by ASP Asime indicates that the president of Somalia with Mr. Museveni, Salimu Saleh, whose origin is Somalian, and Muhoozi Kainerugaba. These are the people who continues to keep indigenous UPDF Ugandans into the Somalian borders. And the intentions to be achieved in this, it is to kill all indigenous Ugandans serving in UPDF, being fearful that these indigenous Ugandans, they will help Ugandans when they take to the street to demand their victory, which is imminent, right? So they are fearful that we must eliminate them through an ambush. So the government of Somalia, in conjunction with Museveni, Salimu Saleh, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Mugisha Muntu, Dr. Kizza Besigye, these are the people who lay strategies to take Ugandan people into Somalia. ASP Asime elaborated that these people are no longer airlifted at the national airport, and even the parliament, it is not informed when they are being deployed, because they don't want any record and to be held accountable that what kind of insurgents claimed the lives of these people. Thus, they take them outside of Uganda undocumented. ASP Asime said that when they reach there, that is when they take their fingerprints and their particulars. Brothers and sisters, this is what we say, is that dictatorial tendencies are contagious. You can see is that the entire region and Central Africa as a whole are now infested with dictatorialism. You can see that the government of Somalia is working hand in hand to massacre Ugandans. You can see is that the Al-Shabaab that is tormenting the people of East Africa, it is actually Museveni's entity. You can see that Mr. Ruto's proposed is that this and that, these are all Mr. Museveni's goals, to dilute the understanding of the natives of the land, to dilute them, to subvert political ideology, to dilute our societal values, to dilute our norms and traditional values. This is what Museveni has excelled in East and Central Africa. Brothers and sisters, this is what Museveni does. Ambushing Ugandans in Somalia and Congo respectively, and in Southern Sudan. Mr. Museveni, have you seen, Mr. Salimu Saleh, have you seen is that Ugandans do not listen as you expected? Is that in fact their rate of fecundity perplex your wicked mindset, which is limited, which does not put God into consideration, which does not put God that controls the light, which does not put God into consideration, the God that controls the breath of life. The God that makes Museveni's stomach to inflate. The God that made you, Salimu Saleh, to be a creature which is not worth it to look at. It is the same God that took Janet Museveni, Nyande Tulihabulwa. You are all going together, Mr. Salimu Saleh. Brothers and sisters, having stated all of that, what if I tell you that what you knew about the narrative Visit Rwanda, it was all false? And ASP Asime yesterday brought before us the security alert behind the narrative of Visit Rwanda, which is being amplified by the mighty Britain and the United Kingdom, which is being amplified by the British Premier League, watched globally. Millions and millions of fans are watching Visit Rwanda. Brothers and sisters, sit tight, listen to the agendas behind that narrative. In those days, Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame, Salimu Saleh, and the 27 men, Kaindo Tafile, sat on the table. And they decided that in order to create a real dynasty of the Rwandi leaning, we must capture Congo, we must capture Uganda, we must capture Southern Sudan, we must capture Burundi, we must capture Central African Republic, we must capture Somalia, we must capture Kenya, we must capture Tanzania. They partly succeeded. They partly succeeded in the minds of the enforced leaders in those countries respectively. There they succeeded. Now, Mr. Museveni and Mr. Kagame proposed that since Uganda is under our control 100%, let us invest money into Visit Rwanda. This is our homeland. And we're gonna make the entire world know about Rwanda. So what they did not tell the people is that was propelling them to call the visitors to Rwanda. It was that they wanted Rwanda to be a hub of cartels, a hub of criminality, a hub of drugs, a hub of all sorts of illicit trading. Brothers and sisters, do you still wonder why Mr. Bolison had fell into prey for that? And they sat on the table with him and convinced him that the rejected subhuman in his community must be repatriated to Rwanda. And they will be given hospitality. So they did not tell Britain or 10 Downing Street that these people are going into the financial hub of Rwanda, which is Uganda in their understanding. Uganda as a country does not exist in their mindset, no. It is regarded as a district or a financial hub of Kigali. Kigali is the capital of Central and East Africa. The rest are just provinces that contribute for the well-being of the capital. That is Kigali. So the Visit Rwanda promotion you saw on Premier League cost Uganda taxpayers' money 12 trillion. Ever since you saw that ad running in Premier League to date. I don't know if it's still there. But the period of time you saw Visit Rwanda with the Asen t-shirts, any Ugandan that puts on that t-shirt, he works against the aspiration of Uganda, either knowingly or unknowingly. Any Ugandan, any citizen of Uganda, whether you are a citizen by descent or an acquired citizen, if you put Visit Rwanda on your body, you are rejecting that which we are saying that Museveni must go. Because the Visit Rwanda advert promotion have cost us 12 trillion shillings ever since it was proposed or put there. 12 trillion shillings. Brothers and sisters, do you still disagree when Kyagulanyi Ssentamu speaks that Uganda is not poor, that Uganda is rich in resources and human, yet its people, yet millions of its citizens live under total poverty, not because they lack the capacity to transform their lives, but because they lacked accountable leadership for far too long. For far too long. Look at the people who claim to be our leader. They think they plot against us. ASP Asime and Teacher Kajubi Lumbie came out and indicated that most of Uganda's wildlife is being exported to Rwanda. The authority of Uganda Wildlife did not budge to investigate what a man patriotic in mind has stated. They did not bother. They did not bother to investigate what is being spoken. Brothers and sisters, what we see, it is the state-sponsored scolding of political activists by elderly people, people who have access to mainstream media. Brothers and sisters, you can see the determination and the amplification of falsehood within Uganda Media Center. Brothers and sisters, let us not neglect to confront these people. When a foreign diplomat is looking for information, he goes to Uganda Media Center. What they find there is what they take because they are conventionally equipped. When they hear what Bob the mechanic speaks, they say that is propaganda. As opposed to bother to spare time and research what this man is talking about. You feel me, homie? This is the situation we're in. So if we dare to conceive a notion of keeping silent, tell me, brother, tell me, where will we be? Tell me, are we going to be able to plan? Are we going to be able to plan? Having seen the statistics, the police does not speak on the backlog. The police does not speak on the missing Ugandans. The police does not speak on the congestion in their custodies. The police does not highlight the dire condition of its police personnel. The police does not indicate that there is a misconception between the government and the accused people. The people are in our custody are innocent people according to the statement. Why the police continue to keep silence? If it is an independent police force, why don't you act in the favor or in the interests of the people who are responsible for paying your tax? For paying your tax. Police force. According to your research, what is the likely cause of the increment in criminality? Isn't it the continued persecution by the state towards the people who are entrepreneurial? Won't that be attributed to the rise of criminality in our society? Police, what is your research? What is the cause of this criminality? We see you are pointing out defilement here. It has an interest with the state. You want either to drop something into there. We are wondering, what prompted you to bring us this nonsensical, when well knowing that the state itself is abducting people. And that is a part of the congestion in your police custodies. In your police custodies. We know Mr. Abbas Byakagaba. Abbas Byakagaba, IGG, Inspector General of Police, Inspector General, IGP, Inspector General of Police, we are demanding the whereabouts of the citizens of the Republic of Uganda. We are demanding the whereabouts of the citizens of the Republic of Uganda. You showed us is that the criminal record which was reported in criminality, it amounted almost to 200,000 cases. Aggravated murder. Most of these people are being charged with aggravated murder and robbery when it is forced by the police. But it's not real. We are talking about NUP supporters. The presidential guards led by Eddie Mutwe, Achileo Chivumbi, General Gaddafi, Charismatic Grace. Where are these people? Police force. What are you accusing these people? Mr. Museveni, on your deathbed, what are you accusing these people? Muhoozi Kainerugaba, with your swelling balls, what are you choosing us? Salimu Saleh, you heap of feces, heap of human excrement, what are you accusing this individual? What do you want from us? What do you continue killing us? Why don't you give us peace? Why don't you give us peace? Why don't you give us peace? Salimu Saleh. Salimu Saleh. Lwaki temutuwa mirembe bisajja mmwe? Lwaki temutuwa mirembe bisajja mmwe? Gwe Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Lwaki temutuwa mirembe? Lwaki temutuwa mirembe? Alani Kasujja, ositudde nkundi muganda wange. Naye Blood nkubuulira, singa bikyankalana, ebyo ebizimbe byammwe tugenda bikumako omuliro Blood. Kyagulanyi kyakola kye kituufu. Kyakola kye kituufu. Tuyina nnyiike. Abalala gye mutayina. Ng'ate bwe tunatuuka ku eri stage mu Blood. Ekitwawula kijja kuba kimu. Ekitwawula kijja kuba kimu. Okkiririza mu Uganda eyawamu oba nedda. Blood. Bayivu mmwe. Bannaye mugatte amaloboozi gammwe ku ddoboozi ly'omukulembeze gwe twalonda oba gwe mwalonda. Bannaye tuleke kukkirira mu butabanguko. Mwannyinaze ne muganda wange basajja mmwe abasaavinga bannayuganda baalagadde obwegasi mu kuyita mu bokisi y'akalulu. Muddidde mubuzaabuza ensi. Mwefuula abamanyi ebyokwogera. Mwefuula abamanyi okuzannyira abantu ku bwongo. Mwefuula abamanyi okukyusa ennimi. Mwefuula abaana ab'ensonyi mu byenyine ku maaso. Naye mwannyinaze ne muganda wange yonna gy'oli ng'okoledde Museveni butaweerwa ng'ate okimanyi atta abantu okubaawo. Mwannyinaze ne muganda wange Medi Nsereko Sebuli, Medi Muhammad Nsereko, wali tokisuubira nti tujja kutegeera lwaki waleeta private members bill okusobola okweka Museveni ne Muhoozi Kainerugaba olw'okusobya ku baana abato. Wali tokimanyi tujja kutegeera nti ate tewaleeta okweka you abated criminality, because that concealing of that heinous led to the demise of Olanya and Father Lukodo respectively. You want to be exonerated in the tribunal of inquest. May the Lord be with your soul and receive that discernment to expose everything that you have done for Museveni. Other than that, that which is coming is irreversible. May the Lord be with you, global citizens, fellow combatants. Museveni, Janet Museveni, they are dying. They are dying. Continue to know that God is real. God is real. And there is never any of his plan will ever go unfulfilled. Kyagulanyi is in God's plan to be the leader of Uganda as it has been manifested. by the people of the Republic of Uganda. Resist not God's chosen one. Oh, Salim Saleh, do not resist a righteous downfall. Stay blessed, global citizens.